guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So back here now for another kind of craft with me for our collage pieces. So we have been making obviously lots of collage goodies to go into a journal. So I'll just kind of move the ones that we've already made to one side. Now, since my last video, I have made a couple more collage pages. So I have made these two. No, sorry, I made that one along with you guys. So now I'm not going to be able to find that. Hold on. Right, I've made these two. So I have scanned these in, and I might include these in my Etsy. I don't know whether they would really be of kind of interest to anybody or not. But if I kind of show you the scanned in, what's the word? Scanned in kind of reproductions of them. Nope, that's still my old one. Sorry, I've just been doing a different video, so I have to get back into the mode of this one. Right, so this is them. So I have this one here, and then I had this one here where I've incorporated obviously some blue pieces on it as well. So I may kind of list those in my shop. So that's kind of those. So we have more bits and bobs to play with, and I thought we're just going to kind of come on and do a few extra pieces to kind of pop into our journal. So the first piece that I thought we would do is one of those kind of envelope pagey thingies. I saw this on Crafty Cat. She did a tutorial for this. Fantastic idea. So basically, she's just got two of the same envelopes and kind of popped them in the flap inside the other envelope, if that makes sense, like that. So if I kind of glue that one into place, now I'm going to try and glue it in place in there, because I have to say I have a few problems getting it back into place. Now that's probably just me. I'm sure that other people don't seem to have kind of these types of problems happening, but definitely for me it's a bit of an issue getting it back in. So I'm just going to kind of pop that in there now, like that. So still need to slide it in further, I think. So right, so that piece is in, and then I'm going to take my other flap and then glue that one down on the top of this piece, like that. Yay! Right, so we have success at least putting the basic piece together. Okay, so when you open it out, you've now got, and if I just kind of smooth my pieces out. I mean, not that it matters because you're not going to actually see these pieces, but I just want to make sure that they are glued down properly. So this would go into your journal stitched into the spine along here. So brilliant idea. So what I'm going to do is use my printed collage pieces. So if I just kind of take, really doesn't matter kind of which one, but she did some collaging on the inside. Now for me that looks very fiddly, trying to actually kind of collage the inside but still leaving it open as a pocket. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take my collage page, I just cut off the edge where it didn't quite come out borderless. And then what you want to do, or how I'm going to do it, she, as I say, did collage this. I'm not going to attempt to do that. I'm just going to cover the entire kind of envelope, if you see what I mean. So now again, I'm just going to stick it down here, and then you want to stick it on here. But what you want to do is not stick here in this open part of the envelope, and you'll see why in a moment if you haven't already checked out her video. So You want to glue all over like that, going right to the edges as much as you can, like that. And then pop that on. So I'm just going to pop that down like that. Now obviously you want to leave a little bit of a space, because when you fold it, you don't want it getting, you know, damaged. You know how kind of when you fold it, you'd get the fold. So I'm just going to spread my glue. And then, you know, of course you could kind of sew this down with your sewing machine or something. I've just used glue because obviously, as you guys know, my sewing machine is not here. So what she then did is snipped along the edge of the envelope, kind of thus opening the envelope out as a pocket. So isn't that just genius? So when you stick that into your journal, it is then a pocket. So what I'm going to do is just go along here and trim this off very carefully, trying not to obviously cut into the envelope like that. Okay, and then obviously exactly the same along the bottom piece. Like that. And then obviously you want to do the same on the facing side. So again, I'm just going to use the other piece of my collage, because then it's kind of nicely matched up. Not that it will matter, because obviously if this is going to be stitched into a signature, it may be that this is then nothing, you know, not going to be anywhere near each other, if you see what I mean, because there may be pages in between unless I sew this in the centre of my signature, you know, which obviously I don't know yet how it will be going in. So take that and obviously pop it down. So I'm just going to again apply lots of glue all over the kind of main part of the envelope, going nice and close to the edges like that, all over. And then I just want to kind of do a little bit along here to kind of attach it on that side. So again, just pop that down kind of like that. And again, just spread it out nicely with the glue spreader. Not a glue spreader, obviously, just my card, but that's what I certainly use it as. So just making sure it's nicely glued everywhere, and then snip it open, or sorry, not snip it open, snip it off along the bottom like that, and then snip it open along the side. So I mean, literally you're going just right up close to the envelope like that. In fact, I got it so close I didn't even cut the envelope open on that end. So there we go. So then you've got your two pockets, which is awesome, isn't it? So I'm just going to pop a bit more glue on here because it's kind of not really held down there. And then just check that all my other edges are kind of glued down. Like that. Hopefully it's all kind of glued down everywhere else. It's just a couple of kind of weak spots there. Okay, right. Okay, looking good. So that's my kind of inside done. Now for the outside, again, up to you how you do it. You could, again, you know, you could just use some of your collage page and pop that on, and then we could just kind of decorate it with a bit of fabric. Or obviously you could just then do more collaging on the outside, if you see what I mean. So, or you could do kind of a bit of each. So you could do kind of, for instance, one side one way and one side the other way. So let's just have a look and see what we've got. So we've obviously got this, you know, sheet of the collage that we've done already. So we could kind of pop that down like that, and then we could collage, oops, on the back using some other bits and pieces. So perhaps we'll do that. What do you think? Yeah, I might do that. So, oops. So again, I'm just going to kind of apply glue all over here. Like that. And then we'll just take this piece here and just kind of glue that down like that. So, spread it all out nicely. And we're going to just cut that off like that. And then just trim it down on the edge. Okay. So that's how that looks. Really like it. It looks really cool, doesn't it? So again, I just kind of go over a couple of bits on the edges where my paper's kind of, you know, not necessarily glued down its best. So just kind of go along the edge. Like that. And then on this edge here. Like that. Oops. Okay. So I've got loads of ideas of kind of other things that I'm wanting to do at the moment. And I mean, do you ever get those moments? I mean, you kind of have those like moments of no creativity kind of coming whatsoever. And then I don't know about you guys, but I get other moments where I literally haven't got time to try out all the things that I want to try out. I'm in one of those zones at the moment, which is actually kind of, you know, a bit frustrating, isn't it? Because you just wish that you could kind of, well, I always just think, oh, I wish I didn't need to sleep and I could just then craft like endlessly, you know, kind of without having to go to sleep. So, yeah, I'm in one of those zones at the moment. Right. So I'm just going to now collage up the back. So just kind of cut that off straight. And then we could have this piece kind of, well, I might cut a straight edge there that we would be able to kind of just pop that there, like that. And then I'm just going back through my little stash of supplies that are here to the side. So again, we'll just take one or two of our stamped kind of pieces, I think. Just tear around those. So we've got those. I've got the sheet music here. So let's have a bit of sheet music in there. And if we have it overhanging, and then I'll obviously trim it down kind of, you know, afterwards. So just check I've got this the right way up. Maybe have it, or you know, we might decide not to have it at all. So maybe we could have that there. So again, I might kind of do what I have been doing, where I've actually going to commit and glue a couple of things down, because, you know, personally I then do find that much easier to kind of progress once I've actually committed to a couple of pieces, because I kind of know then, you know, where I'm going with it. Whereas otherwise it's kind of too vague. I haven't then got anywhere as a kind of starting point. So I'm just grabbing some of my kind of tissue to kind of like mop up a little bit. And then if we have that here, just having a look. Oops. If we were to have that like that, then we could have that down there. Obviously I've still got this awesome book page, so we could definitely have a bit of that in there somewhere. So I'm just going to get rid of these couple of bits. So maybe not. Let me trim this. Just whether we might want this kind of more at the bottom. So we have that. Oops. Maybe like that. And we could have. Now I've noticed something happens with these collage pages, where I kind of suddenly end up that it's like almost like a dividing piece, in that all my things end up kind of on one side and then on the other side. I don't know whether that's a common thing or whether it's just me who seems to have that happen, but I don't overly like that being the case, and I wish that I could stop doing that. But for some reason it just seems to be kind of how I kind of lean to, you know, my kind of go-to place. And just see whether we can have one of these little kind of rosebuds. Kind of pop down somewhere. Kind of mixing in the rosebuds with the stamped flowers, you know, which again for me that's kind of a bit of a stretch, because you know, my automatic go-to would be to not really kind of mix the two things together, but I am trying to be, you know, going outside of my comfort zone a little bit. So, you know, right, I've got some book page. I might just have a bit of book page in there. That just then fills that space like that. Then if we have this piece here, again just trying to kind of commit to this so that I've actually got some bits stuck down, because, you know, I do find that very helpful, you know, so I'm not just literally working from nothing, which is how I feel otherwise. So let's just see, I'm going to have that up there, maybe. Maybe that piece there, maybe that piece here. there. Trying to really get away from the whole this side, that side kind of thing that's just does go on. But it's very hard to get away from that. So look and see whether we could just kind of piece this piece in. Over here in the corner. Right, let's go for that. Like that. Then I'm going to just pop this piece down here. Yeah, I mean, it's quite strange, isn't it? Because I really wanted to do this whole collage thing, you know, and I don't know whether you've noticed, but even now the collage is now having this matchy thing going on, where obviously I started out initially, I'd done the 2 different collage pages. We had the kind of pinky coloured one, and we had the green, you know, this kind of greeny one. And now, as per kind of my usual thing, I've now gone back to, you know, I haven't used that pink one, and you know, I have not used the section with the bird that we put on the initial collage page. So I'm now back to this whole matchy thing that I just struggle so much to not do that. Right, I've got this really teeny weeny piece here, which I was just about to bin, but I'm going to just pop that there, just to cover up that white piece. Right. I mean, that's taking scraps to a whole new level, isn't it? So, what if we have it like this? Right, I quite like it like this. I do have a white space here, but I guess I could fill that with that. So let's go for that. You know, again, I mean, I'm just very aware that these collages seem to take me an age, and you know, I'm just very aware that obviously it must be pretty boring watching it. So I'm just trying to kind of speed up a little bit with doing these. So I mean, hence I obviously did those couple not on camera, because I just thought, oh gosh, you know, people don't want to just keep on watching me deliberate around, because I mean, they really do take me quite a long time to do. So yeah, I thought I would spare you guys the endless suffering of watching me debate about where to put things. So okay, pop that one down there like that, and then we're going to have that flower here, I think. Like that. Okay, right, I like how that looks. I'm happy with that. I'm going to trim off obviously the bits that are overhanging around the edges. So that's where I find I have stuck it together. Like that. And then one here. Like that. Okay. Let's pop these bits all in the bin. Ugh, right. So that's my little piece, which again I have now stuck this together slightly. So let me just stick this corner down. I mean, the irony, it's kind of, that corner's stuck down, but the bit where I don't want it stuck down is. Yeah, the corner wasn't stuck down where it should have been. And yet the other piece where it should have been was, if that makes any sense at all. Right, so that's my kind of, you know, what do you call it? Double page thing opening. Now, I have got these little bits and bobs from my perfume bottles, you know, printables, which I kind of thought that they would look quite cool on this. Oh, I'm losing track of all words for some reason. Right, I thought they would look quite cool with the collage kind of pieces. So I might kind of pop something like that on there. And then just having a look through my other things that I obviously had brought along kind of for the purpose of the doing the collage piece. So, and obviously I've got all those little fabric bits and bobs that we've, you know, made for kind of doing these. So we could kind of just have a couple of buttons on there. I do quite like these. I think they look quite cool. I'm just having a look through other bits and pieces that we could kind of pop on there. Also got the stamps, obviously, and also got that kind of red, you know, bird shape that I haven't used yet. So we could kind of have that somewhere. Let's have a look. So just go back through my kind of vintage stamps and see again kind of what colours I've got. So I've got this gorgeous green one. Oh, isn't that lovely? I love that colour green. It's really pretty, isn't it? Let's see what else we've got. Got another green one. That's kind of not very vibrant. It's quite a sort of dark green, which to me then doesn't kind of match with this really happy, vibrant feel that we've got going on with this gorgeous, you know, collage kind of thing that we've got going on here. So I think I'm going to go for this. So I'm just having a look. I mean, what we could do, and I don't know whether this would be too matchy, but I'm just going to cut out this kind of big flower and just see whether we could kind of have this stuck down. Now, as I say, this may be way too matchy, you know, that it would just kind of blend literally into the background. And has anyone noticed how many times I've said literally during this video? I feel like I've literally been saying it all the time. Yeah. Thank you very much for everyone's kind words saying not to worry about how many times I say literally. And honestly, I mean, I wasn't offended by the you know, original comment. I actually thought it was just really funny. And it's only when you turn the camera on, because then you kind of go, oh, I am saying it all the time. Gosh, I hadn't noticed how many times a day I do actually say that word. But yeah, believe you me, I, you know, I wasn't offended. I found it very funny. So yeah, thank you very much anyway for everybody's kind words, because you know, hopefully it kind of gave people some amusement, if nothing else. Right, just having a bit of a look through the odds and ends that I've got kind of laying around. See, I've got the sort of bright coloured buttons and things that I've bought for doing this collage kind of, well, I know I said kind of in another video, you know, I mean, I didn't really intend to call this a series. As it happens, it is turning out to be a bit of a series, but that wasn't kind of how it was supposed to be in the first place, but it's just kind of panned out like that, really. So not that I mind, but obviously, yeah, I didn't start out kind of intending on it being like that. So I wish I'd kind of realised, because then I would have actually kind of made it a kind of proper series. So I've got a few more of my bottles. I may cut out one or two more. Just having a look through my little pieces that I've got. And I have got, you know, similarly to the perfume bottles and things, I've got typewriters and what have you from my other die cut pieces. That's kind of printed on ivory cardstock, so it doesn't necessarily kind of go that brilliantly. And just typically, I actually seem to have run out, would you believe, of all those kinds of bits and pieces. So I'm just having a quick look through. I don't think I've really got anything in there that I can use, which is annoying. Annoying and unusual, because normally I have all sorts kind of printed out ready to go. So I might have to stop the camera in a minute and go and print off a couple of bits and pieces. But for the moment, I'll just cut out this bottle. You know, just kind of wanted to have like fun stuff going on here, really. So I'll just move the typewriter. I'm not saying bottles are necessarily fun. Well, I suppose it depends what's in them, but yeah, just kind of wanted to have slightly different kinds of things kind of going on here. So, I mean, they're quite cute. What does everyone else think? Do you like those? So I might just pop those couple of bits on there. I mean, it is quite matchy-matchy, as I say, but yeah, hopefully in a good way. You know, hopefully not in a bad way. So I'm just going to pop that postage stamp on, and then I'm going to pop this great big flower down. Like that. Dab that off. And then these are printed onto white card, and ordinarily I would kind of colour these, but strangely enough, I really quite like the look of these being quite white on this, you know, collage background. But it makes them obviously pop out a little bit more for a start, but they're kind of, yeah, something quite nice about them kind of looking like that. So I quite like them actually. So I think I will leave them kind of bright. And I'm just going to pop on this fabric ruffle. So let's just pop that on down the bottom like that. And then I quite like those buttons as well, so I might just pop on a couple of buttons there as well. So just a green one and a pink one. There we go. So, you know, we've like built on the collage that kind of existed obviously on the background paper. So that's that. And then on the inside, we've just got this gorgeous collage going on. So, you know, I might not do anything to that, although we could just do like what we did on one of our other pieces, where we just add a really thin strip of kind of fabric kind of just going down the edge, which looks quite nice, doesn't it? So maybe we'll have that. And I'm just looking to see where the other fabric is. And again, I've just got such a lot of rubbish on my desk because, you know, I'm kind of working on multiple things, so I've now just got rubbish everywhere. Right, so let's have a look. Oops. I have got a big piece of this. But again, I mean, I'm just kind of aware that you guys are sat there whilst I'm looking through trying to actually find it. So I don't want to just kind of bore the life out of everybody while I'm looking for it. So I might just have to kind of go with things that I can spot instantly, just so I'm not kind of endlessly looking for things. I mean, I have also got the blue spotty, so let's just see what that would look like. I love these kinds of fun fabrics. They're just really pretty, aren't they? So, I mean, we could have the blue. Or maybe the blue on this side. And maybe the red on that side. Or maybe the red and the blue. Oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? So I might have the blue going down here. And again, I'm just kind of putting the glue wide-ish, so hopefully it captures the whole of the fabric, you know, rather than just a tiny piece of it. And then we could just have that piece there. So like that. Just glue that down like that. Okay. So, I mean, bearing in mind that these may have other pages in between them. So, you know, they really don't need to be matching because they might not actually be kind of anywhere near each other, if that makes sense. So I'm just grabbing some of my little fabric pieces that I've got kind of ready printed to see whether any of those would kind of work on here. Maybe the butter, the heart maybe is quite nice. Just have a look. So I've got that lovely word love. Oh, perhaps like that. That's pretty. And again, I mean, I just really, you know, I'm trying to speed this up so that you're not kind of just really bored. So I'll just pop that down like that. And we'll just take the heart . The heart there, like that, and we can just have that word kind of over there. That's pretty, isn't it? Okay, so happy with that. And then obviously we've got the back, which is our actual collage, if you see what I mean, because we didn't just use the pre-collaged piece of paper, we actually did collage that kind of page. So just going to kind of pop a couple of things on there to kind of finish that off. So I mean, again, we could just pop on a couple of the bottles and those kinds of bits. So just going to cut this one round. It's got this weird thing on there. What do you call those? I guess like a stopper. So I just cut that off, because I thought it looked better without that. So just cut around there. I mean, we could maybe have that kind of on some fabric, you know, like as a kind of statement piece. So let's just tear that off. Something weird going on with this piece, so let's just try and make that look less jaggedy. I think I've made it look more jaggedy now. Right, that's better. That's a bit better anyway. So if we kind of were to have that, could have it kind of like this or something. I did wonder about popping some bunting going across here, to be honest. I thought might have been quite cute. Have a look. Got that denim heart. Just have a look. And that's quite nice. I quite like that. We could have a little button or something. Yeah, that looks quite nice, doesn't it? So perhaps we'll kind of go for that. So I'll just glue this piece on. Must pull all those threads off of my glue in a minute. That's now got fabric literally just dragging around with it. So hold on, just put that like that. Actually, I just found that heart just floating around. So we could have that one. Well, we could have the heart and not the bottle at all, I guess, really. Let's just have a look. Or just have a look. Have it kind of like that, I suppose. Does that look weird? I don't know whether kind of... Let me stand up, because again, you know, sometimes you just get a bit of a different kind of impact when you're actually looking down on something rather than kind of right there. So if we had it like that with the bottle, yeah, I don't want the bottle on there actually. So come on, stop it. I'm going to glue down the denim heart. Let me just get rid of those threads that are just really irritating on there. Right, hold on. Like that. And then if we wanted to have this piece kind of maybe off like that, that's quite nice, isn't it? Like that. And then we'll just pop a couple of buttons on there. Like that, I think. And then could have our little ruffle kind of going somewhere. Or, you know, we may want to add the ruffle after we've stitched the pieces in, so it's not kind of getting in the way at all and making it too bulky when we're actually stitching everything together. Or we might not want it at all. So let's just glue these buttons on, I think. So one. That's it. And the other one. Okay, how does that look? Super cute. So we've got there kind of 2 pockets, and effectively we've got kind of 4 pages. So really cute, and it feels gorgeous. It's all lovely and yummy to touch this. So that's probably all we've got time for today. I'm sorry that these episodes are taking kind of such a long time, but I guess kind of that is, you know, the thing with the collage stuff is it does kind of drag on a little bit. So hope that you kind of had a bit of fun, and I will see you again next time. Thanks, Anne. Bye.